Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by English Mountain Spring Water. I was out in Nevada recently, and you're constantly reaching for water whenever you're out there because it's a million degrees. What I found was I am now an English Mountain Spring Water addict. Literally, everything else has a funny aftertaste. When you get a bottle of water somewhere else, it just has a funny aftertaste. For your home or your office, visit EnglishMountainH2O.com to have a local, all-natural water delivered to you, and it has no aftertaste. I'm telling you, if you try it, you will say that is the best water I've ever had. English Mountain Spring Water. Okay, hey, I want to quickly tell you that next week's show, once a year, and it didn't happen last year due to COVID, but once a year, the U.S. Cycling Championships comes through Knoxville, and WATE covers it live. So you'll be able to see that right here on 6 Sports next week instead of us. We won't be here. Our show will be running at 11:30 p.m. after the late local news next week. If you missed, and we got a lot of great feedback, if you missed our show with Will Overstreet, J.J. Surlis, and Sterling Hinton talking so much about topics that they normally get a chance to cover. It was fascinating. That will air again. That will air next Sunday night at 11:30 p.m., so catch it there. We will be back here live for the next million weeks at 11 a.m. The 27th. So 2 weeks from today, we'll be back live in our normal time slot. But next week, we'll be on 11:30 p.m. Very quickly, Tim Priest, who has been the color analyst on the Vol Network football broadcast for since 1999, he retired this week. Old Sports Source analyst and Tennessee Titans broadcaster Pat Ryan will be taking his slot. Let me take this in two different directions. First things first, Pat is the natural choice, and he will be terrific, I think.
I agree with you. I think Pat does a really good job. I think his ability to see the entire field, which many former quarterbacks were able to do, he can give you that perspective. The other thing is, too, and I remember this comment when one year Tennessee was about to play Georgia, and Pat was asked, what do you think is Tennessee's path to beating Georgia? And his response was, I don't think there is a path. So you're going to get honesty from Pat Ryan. I appreciate that. I think he'll do a terrific job.
The guy's fantastic, longtime NFL quarterback. Many years ago, I asked him to come down, and I was working across the street and had him come over and watch game tape. I'd gotten UT to slide me some game tape under the table and of their upcoming opponent. I sat down with Pat, and he would say, hit play. We'd hit play. They'd snap the ball. The guy would have 1 foot back. He said, stop. And he'd be able to tell me, okay, this guy's going here, this guy's going there, and he's going to hit this, and he's going to hit that. And then you hit play, and it would do it. Literally like that. He could read it that quickly. Guy's fantastic. He says what he thinks. I think it'd be awesome. Chuck,
yes.
Tim Priest
yes.
had a heck of a tough job walking. I mean, he and Bob both, to replace John Ward and Bill Anderson. And Bill Anderson,
right.
I don't know if he was the first, but UT says he was the first. He was certainly one of the first former players who became a color analyst on the radio broadcast for a college team. Those were legends. Tim Priest stepped in there, has done the job for many years. He's also in that rarefied company of guys who played at UT, did football finals for years with our friend Bobby Scott
right.
and Joe Thompson and Mike Hammond. He's been great at everything he's done. You put him up there now with the Haywood Harrises and the Gus Mannings, guys who contributed to UT football in one way or another for decades and decades and decades. Your thoughts on Tim Priest?
Well, a lot of people may have forgotten. I mean, Tim was an interception machine when he played in that 1969 defense. Well, you talk about some talent on it. Also an excellent attorney, you know. So it's really something. And I told a couple of people, I wish Tim could do some kind of farewell tour, even if it's just some home games or something, because a lot of people think the world of him. And it's time. He said he wants to spend more time with his grandchildren. So he'll be missed, and just really enjoyed the way he would see things a lot of times from the defensive perspective and how he called the game.
David, you spoke to him this week. I'll give you 60 seconds. Just your thoughts. Sum it up in 60 seconds.
I mean, I think ultimately, Tim felt it was time, and I think he said a lot of the same things you guys did about Pat, that he's really excited about. He's going to be able to see some of the X's and O's stuff that Tim said, I can't even see. And so, I think ultimately it's going to be a fresh voice and somebody that fans are going to like, fans are going to recognize, and a good fit, a natural fit.
Yeah, I think it is a good. The biggest concern I would have is it's one thing for Pat to call a Titans game. It's one thing for him to call a Tennessee game. Can he be as open? And I think his natural reaction is to be open and honest. Mm-hmm. Are there going to be times when people are like, How dare you be that open and honest?
Yes, the answer is yes. Yeah.
He's going to be great, though. But a salute to Tim Priest. I mean, really, there aren't many people who you can talk about contributing and being a part of that game day experience since the 60s, since
Right.
the 70s. That's a heck of a thing, and he deserves a great deal of credit for doing it well and doing it on so many different levels, from a player to the talk radio, back when that was the only post-game show in town. So salute to Tim Priest. Enjoy your retirement. Also, we want to remind you, see you in 2 weeks right back here. Good luck to the Volunteers today at 3 o'clock. Hopefully when we're back in 2 weeks, we'll still be talking about Tennessee baseball when they're out in Omaha. And then get coverage of the game tonight right here on 6 Sports. They'll have everything you need. See you in 2 weeks.